Hey everybody, and welcome back to Thursday Thermal Take, the show where we name drop the hottest of takes to you on the most anime of Thursdays. 2022 was filled with many anime. Good, bad, in between, all kinds of crap. We're going to have to go through at least the best of them, maybe some of the not best, but you're going to have a lot of good anime in this episode. We've got our first episode of season 2 of Thursday Thermal Takes. We're going to be going through all of the glorious anime from 2022, at least in a very short version. We're going to be getting into 5, not in any particular order, that I believe stood out as the 5 best in 2022, according to ya boy. Do be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Hit the bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/proantagonist2, where you can follow me for memes and shenaniganry. Also, it would be very much appreciated if you would consider donating in the Patreon. For anyone who does the $3 tier, polls. For anyone who does the $12 tier, actually a chance at getting a video made by me on this channel with your ideas. Be sure to see that, links in the description, all sorts of good stuff. Now back to the video. But really, we have all kinds of anime. There were dozens and dozens and dozens of anime in the year 2022. Each year goes by, they make more and more anime. A lot of them a little bit good, a little bit bad, a little bit fundamental. I think a lot of anime just kind of look like copies of older anime. A lot of anime at this point, it's not that the culture is dying so much, it's just that the cream of the crop rises to the top and the rest just kind of drop. And what I mean by that is isekais come a dime a dozen. You have all sorts of romance animes that essentially are the same plots that happened before. You have so many different like subgenres and subcategories that have created their own archetype of anime. You have too many different things. You have so many at this point that I feel like a lot of even the good anime are just copies of older anime. But most of the anime covered in this video are all fairly original and pretty damn amazing, even the honorable mentions. Gonna start with probably an anime that literally everyone expected coming into this, Chainsaw Man. That is going to be one of the 5. Not necessarily in any particular order, as I said. I didn't actually order it because that would be very hard to do considering that a couple of these I haven't seen. But Chainsaw Man, very excellent. I've seen the entire thing thus far in the anime form. It's quite excellent, and I would say excellent meaning it does well above the average anime. In my opinion, probably a 9 out of 10. Fairly deserving of its like mal rating. And the only thing I can say about Chainsaw Man, as I did in a previous Thursday Thermal Take, it is a little bit weird when it comes to the plot and the characters. And it is relevant to say again, of course, that Chainsaw Man, not quite necessarily the most original of anime. To me, this feels a lot like an anime that came out precisely 2 years before it, called Jujutsu Kaisen. It's an excellent anime, probably better than almost everything that came out this year. Probably the best anime of 2020. I knew it won that award from the Crunchyroll Awards back when they started doing those a couple years ago. Mainly because Jujutsu Kaisen sort of blew away the audiences of shonen anime. They didn't have a lot of great shonen running after at some point. Boruto kind of soured people's taste. One Piece, the animation quality, not as great anymore as it used to be, kind of padded out, a little bit too much fluff, and Bleach had not been around for like 10 years. So really the big 3 are kind of gone or faded. And Jujutsu Kaisen blew people away in a way that My Hero Academia didn't. It wasn't too formulaic. It was very much its own thing. Realistically speaking, when you look at both Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, you see a lot of similarities, and I would say Jujutsu Kaisen is the better version of itself, as opposed to Chainsaw Man. But they have a lot of very good similarities. They have very interesting kinds of fights. You have very interesting kinds of powers. You have kind of like weird little different niche things that each character can do. It's not really based on a general power system. It's more so of a, I have this one ability and this person has another ability, and they're not really all that related. Even the main characters in Chainsaw Man, they don't have all that similar kinds of abilities. One of them is because they're a demon. Another one is like a ghoul of some kind. Correct me, Editor Chan, if I am wrong on this one. But in Jujutsu Kaisen, it is a little bit more power structured. You have all these different abilities people have. They have these field manipulation things. So I just remember people can change the battlefield, and that's a little bit similar to itself. But a lot of other people, they have their own different little things. Main character Yuji, he can do a thing because the main antagonist powers him, basically. He's running on bad guy power. In a similar vein, main character Chainsaw Man Denji, he's running on demon power as opposed to pretty much everyone else who's either running on like whatever power is the girl power. I can't remember. She's like a shapeshifter or a ghoul or some kind of like not actual demon or something. But all the other characters pretty much humans with their little weird abilities. Main characters aren't all that similar in terms of character and personality, but they are similar in terms of how they sort of apply to the story. They just become a little bit of a big splash in a world of a structured power system in which people target and fight these sort of unhuman, not very anthro kinds of crazy demon monsters. Honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, they both have a very similar good aspect to them, and that's that they're done incredibly well. With Kaisen, of course, you have a lot more great music. But Chainsaw Man, being sort of the second Jujutsu Kaisen, is pretty good. I would say that it definitely comes in at top 5 just because the story is somewhat conveying of emotion and stuff that I didn't think it was going to be in the beginning. My Thursday Thermal take where I reviewed it, it's a little outdated because honestly, Chainsaw Man, back half of the season, very, very touching, very much more so than any of the stuff that happened early on. I watched, I think, 5 episodes. I kind of was very unclear as to how the anime was going to go, but I think it's actually pretty decent now. I'm still not all that sold on the quality of the story. The narrative may not all be great or anything like that. The characters definitely aren't Jujutsu Kaisen tier. There isn't a whole lot of really super funny, awesome characters. I just think that Denji and Power are really the main ones, and then everything else is somewhat secondary. But overall, Chainsaw Man, very good, aka Jujutsu Kaisen 2, which is still pretty good. Next, of course, we have 2 different anime to fill out 2 more spots in this 5 best. Neither of them I've actually seen, because this year has been a crazy year where I haven't actually gotten to watch every anime I wanted to. And really, the only reason I'm putting them up here is because of overall acclaim, overall quality, a lot of vouching from different sources that I've talked to or different sources that I follow. And the fact that the original seasons of these are both, I think, season 3s, because a lot of season 3s happened this year. Both of these anime were quite excellent during their season 1, which I've seen all of. And honestly, I would watch till they basically jump the shark and just dip down in quality all the way to Boruto level. Like, I would say that these anime are among the best of all time. You've got both Demon Slayer and Mob Psycho. The Demon Slayer new whole arc thing, I haven't seen any of it. I know a little bit about Mugen Train. I know a little bit about all that. Mob Psycho, still on season 2, haven't finished that yet. As awful as that sounds, because that was like 4 years ago. Both these animes rock people's socks off. They have some of the best scores. It's very hard to argue with these being in the top 5 just because everyone liked it. There was just a lot of good, high-quality aspects to both anime. Honestly, Demon Slayer will probably be etched into some kind of annals of anime history as one of the greatest of all time just for the visual aesthetics. That's really hard to overcome when you're looking at it compared to other anime. Other anime don't have that. There's a lot of anime that are pretty good, but Demon Slayer just goes a step beyond. And you would say the same thing about Mob Psycho in terms of the story and the characters, because that thing kind of blows you away. Mob Psycho isn't even one of my favorites, but it's still damn good, and I don't think that there's a lot of argument to go on to really unseat both of these in the top 5. It's hard because I think I know what would be the weakest of these 5, and neither of these 2 is it. Number 4. Everyone expected this because I'm making a video, and of course you know that sequels are in here. So the number 1 anime on my anime list, the best rated and reviewed anime, somehow, in a weird sort of fever dream aspect, is Bleach: The Thousand Year Blood War Arc. I'm somewhat at a loss for words. First of all, I love Bleach. It's definitely not the best anime of all time. I will say that, hands down. Honestly, not a better story in everything than FMA Brotherhood. Maybe if you included, like, more. But I mean, this is just a 13 episode snapshot of Bleach thus far. Too much filler, not enough good. The anime quality wasn't always 100%. The story is a little bit padded and drags out sometimes. Thousand Year Blood Work literally perfected the art of Bleach. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. Everything about it was top tier. Obviously, some things aren't absolutely 100% perfect, but the quality that was put into animating this stuff, the color, the sound, everything was top notch. Everything was top tier. Everything was great. If you haven't seen it, I would watch all of Bleach except for the filler arcs and then catch up and then watch this because it was damn amazing. I don't really know how to describe how good it was. The season overall was just fantastic, but it's really, really hard to put into words how grateful first big anime experience for me was Bleach. This is incredibly biased, but this is also fairly relevant because I don't think almost any anime has had a comeback in the way that Bleach has. I think they need to go back. They need to reanimate all the canon arcs in this sort of format style and then just have it as like Bleach the whole. Make it like, I don't know, 200 episodes total instead of like all the garbage it has. And then have people watch that and then have people be absolutely freaking blown away. Honestly, there's no way to express this other than this is Bleach at perfection. It was 13 episodes. It was like a fragment of the story. It was a fragment of the series. And it was quite excellent in every way, shape, and form. I don't really know how to even describe what they can do to improve other than maybe eventually change the ending that apparently isn't very good. It was rushed. And if the anime could expand a little, maybe tweak it a bit, that would actually be possibly better. I know that it's really taboo because you don't want them to do that normally in any sort of anime adaptation, but I'd say it's pretty good. Bleach overall going to take one of the top spots, and we'll get down to some honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 3. Another Season 3. Only reason why I don't have this in the top 5, honestly, this is sort of a personal choice. It could be in just about any top 5 for 2022, but I wouldn't put it there just because it's too formulaic to itself. Like, Kaguya-sama, you've watched the first season. The second season really isn't a surprise or a change. It's not really a drastic shock. It doesn't really bring a lot more to the story. It kind of expands and goes into side characters, but most of the side characters aren't all that great. Third season, I haven't watched all of. To me, it's not that changed. Like, maybe there's something after the first couple episodes that really drags people into it, but Kaguya-sama is still Kaguya-sama, which is pretty good. I just don't know that it's always the best, because like I said, the sort of love is a battlefield type thing, it gets a little tired. To me, it isn't deserving of one of the top spots above 5 others. Aharen-san is indecipherable. Definitely one of my favorite anime this year. It's only here because I love it. I can't actually make a good argument why it would be in the top 5, but I could make arguments for top 10 maybe. It is my list, and that's sort of personal opinion. The Aharen-san, all kinds of weird and crazy shenanigans. I think it was a great anime. I know a lot of other people didn't think so. A lot of other people thought it was meh, but my own opinions kind of trump others when it comes to me making my own list. Attack on Titan. This one could have also easily been in the top 5, but that thing needs to just end. I'm tired. I don't know. I think everyone's tired. Attack on Titan, ridiculous. Way too much like hype and all this other crap just to have it sort of plotline nudged, pushed along. We're in what now? 10 years of this series? It's not even that long. We're what, 100 episodes of this thing? 100 episodes of Attack on Titan, and it's taken 10 years to get here. It's just too much. There were too many gaps. There were too many big pauses. There were too many episodes that aren't almost even meaningful. Just a little bit of dialogue. I know that a lot of people love it, but it just needs to not be so drawn out. Gonna give another honorable mention to Komi Can't Communicate Season 2. Excellent. Definitely not top 5 caliber in the realm of the talk of what would be in the top 10 at the very least, let alone top 5. I think Komi Can't Communicate, very good. To me, it's not as good as Aharen-san, but again, the Komi Season 2, pretty good. Follows Season 1 pretty well, and honestly not bad. And then lastly, Bocchi the Rock, not seen it, but the overall reaction to it was so good that I had to include it in honorable mentions at the very least. And the final honorable mention that's going to make everyone mad, Spy X Family, parts 1 and 2. First of all, Spy X Family is a very good anime. I see why a lot of people like it. I know Spy X Family is good. Saw it. Saw why it became an internet sensation. All that stuff is great. Not the best anime. Mainly for me because it's very disjointed in how it wants to tell its story. It doesn't really... And this isn't always a bad thing. And even in Spy X Family, it's not always a bad thing. But it doesn't have a very cohesive plot. It has a very general plot with a lot of side stories that don't really progress the plot very much at all. It just kind of dances around things and turns it into a very weird slice of life, but also spy show. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, but it doesn't cohesively fit for me as well as other shows do. Spy X Family get jerked around a little bit between the Anya episodes, which are probably some of the better ones, and then you get stuff involving Yor and her brother, and then you get the episodes involving the spy organization and Lloyd Forger, and really that's the worst part of it. Other than that spy coworker he has that's actually kind of funny, that whole organization is all boring people and boring characters. Lloyd Forger, if he's the protagonist, I guess. I mean, I'd just say Anya is because that's better. Lloyd Forger is one of the worst characters. He has no personality whatsoever. All he is stoic and good at his job. There is no personality there. He's a terrible character. The writing needs to be better for that. And that's something that just it's annoying every time I see it. It's just like this guy is nothing. He doesn't really have any impact on me. I have no real attachment to him. And that's crazy because this is like the anime that took the nation of Japan and the nation of America and every other nation basically. It kind of cemented itself as one of the most watched anime, I think, pretty much ever. And it is kind of, in my opinion, the ultimate normie anime because this seems like a fairly tame gateway anime, I guess. If you're getting your family to watch anime for the first time, I would recommend this in a sense, but I don't know. To me, it's not amazing. It's not like unbelievable in the way that, I would say either Bleach was very unbelievable, Chainsaw Man was unbelievably good. Spy X Family, it can't have a top 5 spot for me because it's not top 5. It may not even, it's definitely top 10 somewhere, but probably not even top 6 or 7. And finally, the winner of top 5, as a lot of people may have guessed, Call of the Night, vampire anime, very hilarious, very funny. I made a tier list about it even recently. Call of the Night was great, came out this summer. It was amazing. It made me think in a time where I was tired of living at night, I actually want to be a creature of the night. Like it was that good. Call of the Night blew me away. The characters are funny, mainly the main characters, because a lot of the side characters don't add as much, but you have a lot with those main characters. The just Nazuna-chan herself is probably one of the best female characters in anime that I have seen. She's hilarious. She's deep, she's funny, she's enjoyable, she's pretty much everything a good protagonist would need if she was the protagonist, but she's sort of a dual protagonist in the relationship with her sort of asexual, weird, gloomy boyfriend type character. I don't know how to describe the relationship. They're just friends, but there's a lot more. You gotta unpack. You gotta actually watch it. It's great. Best anime, and not really the best. I don't even think it's to me, this one was the number 5. Call of the Night was amazing to me. It really redefines what a romance or rom-com sort of anime can be. And it was, again, on all fronts, just a masterpiece. Like, the sound was amazing. The music used was great. Both the opening and the ending themes are tremendous. You have this show that has, like, excellent characters, excellent writing, excellent plot. It makes me want to come back every single week. But anyway, how was my first episode back? I know it's been a little while since I did a Thursday Thermal Take. It has been a long and bumpy ride, but we're going to have a lot more of these on a regular basis. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. What did I get wrong? What would have been in your top 5? What should I have at least mentioned in this video? Definitely hit me up in the comments. Hash it out. Tell me exactly why I'm wrong. Tell me exactly why my takes suck. Tell me exactly why Spy X Family is the #1 anime of the century. Once again, please like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. Anyway, definitely let me know what you'd like to see in the future on Thursday Thermal Takes, and I will see you again next Thursday.